So green gold this week on Saturday, and what are your expectations for what do you want to see happen on Saturday with your squad?
Just a really fun time for all the athletes to get, kick off the year and hopefully go out there and get some good marks and not get psyched up too much because it's competition, but enjoy the laid back atmosphere and put up some good marks. And then we're also going to have a ton of alumni in town. My last count was about 50 alumni. They're going to be here. A good amount of them will be competing against our athletes as well. So that just makes the atmosphere really fun for everybody. People kind of get to talking a lot and bragging, and it makes it a really kind of supportive and fun yet competitive environment in a really good way. So we're really looking forward to that.
What does that say about the program when you're going to have at least 50 alumni come in? I mean, as you graduate, you're busy, your work, all that stuff. But what does that say about the program when you can get a large amount of former lumberjacks to come here for this weekend?
I think it speaks for itself. People come to Humboldt State from all different areas of California and the United States, and they really have a great experience here. They love Humboldt. They love the area, they love the school, they love the sports, and they love their team. And I think that's a really big reason that people come back is the relationships that they build with each other and with the coaching staff. And it's kind of just an excuse to get together and have a reunion every year. And I think I've gotten such good feedback from the last couple of years doing this that they have a lot of gratitude for this event being put on for them to have an opportunity and come back and visit with everybody. So it's really satisfying for me to see that, and to see that the years that you put into working with individuals as a student athlete, that never really ends. When they leave school, you can still keep those relationships alive, and I'm still getting requests for writing letters of recommendation and helping people to make connections and get jobs and things like that after school, and it's really satisfying to see that and be a part of that. So,
do you use the green and gold for maybe say who's gonna for the next event, like who's gonna compete and what? It's kind of like this competition, like who you're gonna place, or is it already kind of decided who's gonna
We have a pretty good idea at this point in terms of how people have been performing in practices, but it does give us a little more a real solid picture of where people are at in terms of their performances. Track and field is very objective. It comes down to a distance or a time, and as much as you want it to be different, you want somebody to travel with the team or not. It's very objective, and it all comes down to those numbers. So it does have a little bit of added pressure for the athletes to try to perform, and make sure that they solidify their spot on the travel squad.
James here, he was talking about a large number of freshmen on the team. How important is it when you have a green and gold to kind of get for the freshmen to kind of get that college competition?
It's really good for them. Track and field being such an individual sport, you're on the starting line and you might be next to teammates, but it's you that's doing the performance, and for better or worse. So you can kind of take the glory when you do well, but it also reflects on you if you're not quite meeting the standards that you want to be at, and that can be really nerve-wracking, especially for freshmen. So I think green and gold is just a really good opportunity for them to again have that low pressure atmosphere, keep it positive, have some fun with it. It's an opportunity to put up a big mark, but it's not necessarily a nail in the coffin if they don't meet it on that one day. That doesn't mean that they're off the travel squad. But it's just an additional opportunity for them to try to showcase, all the work that they've been putting in.
Mm-hmm. We talked to Rouse earlier when she was in here, and she was just saying how her sophomore season injured, having to have surgery, and then learning another leg. Talk about her and just what she's had to overcome, and now back out there.
Yeah, she's a tremendous athlete and human being. She's all around awesome. And anybody that talks to her, she how much energy she brings to everything she does, and enthusiasm. She's a hell of an athlete. So for her to have an injury that required surgery, after her freshman year, getting second in the nation. You know, I mean, that's such a huge place to start from, and to have to take that big of a step back. You know, it's a huge blow, I think, to her confidence, you know, physically and mentally. And, you know, it's been a little bit of a climb, you know, to come back from that after all her rehab and all of her low impact workouts in the swimming pool. And she's put in a lot of work. And, you know, I think she's really capable of amazingly switching her technique, and instead of jumping on the right side like she used to do for high jump, switching up her approach so that she can still compete in that event on the other leg, jumping on the other side. I think that just takes tremendous tenacity and drive to be able to do that, and athleticism, you know, to physically be able to make that big of a switch and be ambidextrous enough to pull that off. But really it shows, you know, on the mental side that she does really care, and she really wants this. And you know, this will be the first year that she's high jumping again. So, you know, only time will tell, but I think from workouts we've seen that, you know, she can overcome a lot, and we're setting the bar high. I think she could do very well this year.
You've obviously been involved in track and field for, you know, many years, not too many years, but have you experienced something like this, you know, with a teammate or somebody in track and field having to learn, you know, another leg? And
in different ways, yes. I mean, with so many athletes and so many good athletes over the years, you always have people that have, you know, really heartbreaking injuries, that despite their best efforts in doing everything right and perfect in their training and being smart, you know, sometimes you get unlucky and something like that happens that really takes away, you know, your better competitive years. And it's not easy to do. You know, as many times as I've seen it happen, I've seen a lot more times when the athlete falls out and doesn't continue to have that same drive. They lose their motivation, and, you know, it's really tough to continue to train day in and day out through injuries. To be able to overcome that, it takes a lot of mental fortitude to do that. So just seeing Ellie be able to continue to do that and to really want it as much as she does, it really sets her apart.
Thank you.